Everybody wants to be successful, and yet we all have different ideas of what that is. Finding success is the journey we embark upon to go and get what's ours. We are willing to travel down within to find our greatness buried deep inside of us, questioning society's views and flipping the script, putting our own stamp on life. We're here because our future is within our control. Finding success is how we grab hold of what is possible. The relentless pursuit of success starts here.
We are Finding Success, and we're here to help break that monotony of your life and help you find your version of success. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, guys, with me, Adam, and
Me, Alex.
This week is going to be, I think, quite a big subject for a lot of people, and especially as a friendship group here that we're sitting together, one that we all struggle with to start off with during this podcast. And I think it affects everyone on a day-to-day basis. Some people more than others. Some people don't allow them to be affected by it, but I think it's something that you can't avoid, and especially in today's society of, I'm going to blame it again, social media. But before we get started, if you haven't already, because I'm going to plug our social media, go and follow us on Instagram, go and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, listen to the podcast, go back to episode 1, and make sure you listen to every single one. And there, in the past 6 or 7 episodes, start the year off, we've done some really, really good, important episodes that will just transform your life. So make sure you go and give them a listen. Now, Watson, the one biggest killer to everyone in this world, I think, from stopping them to make the next step in life, I think, is confidence.
Yeah, I agree.
I think a lot of people struggle with confidence in a day-to-day basis and I'm going to go straight into it, relationships, going to chat up a female or a male, depending on your sex and sexuality, going for a job thinking that you're not worth it, going to talk to someone thinking that you're not worth their time, having the confidence to release content, having the confidence to just do anything in life, really. If you're lacking confidence in an area of life, it's a struggle for everyone.
Definitely. And it can really have an impact on you. And an impact on you that is almost detrimental.
Yeah.
If you're lacking in confidence, you can almost cause a form of depression in a way.
Now I'm going to say this. Do I lack confidence? Absolutely. In every single probably day of my life, there's a point where I'm not confident in something that I'm doing that day. That could be anything from making a cup of tea. I could have made a new form of tea. Maybe I'm using something that I haven't used a tea bag before. I'm using one of those leaves thing buses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not confident in how I do it. Okay, it's a really green and stupid subject, but it's still something that I'm not confident in doing, and maybe it's not going to turn out right, and maybe it's for the Queen, and maybe this is how she likes her tea. And if I mess it up, well, that's it. I'm going to Tower of London. I'm going to get dinged by the old knights or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But it's the same thing, you know. I'm not confident in doing that, and if I take that too far and I let that play on my mind, and it replays and replays and replays, and I'm not going to be confident until she drinks it and see if she likes it or not, then those half an hour or 20 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it takes her to take her first sip, it's going to play on my mind, and those 15 minutes are wasted. They're wasted in me not thinking straight, in me following the different forms of stuff that I do. I might not be doing the same thing well. I could have messed a cake up, or I could have done something else wrong just because I'm thinking about if I've made the tea right or not. It affects people in that way as well.
That's interesting. I was wondering where you were going with that. I was a bit lost, but no, I completely agree. Yeah, if you're not confident in something you've done, as you said, you're making a product for someone and giving it to someone, you're waiting for that response.
Yeah,
that window you're waiting for the response is hell. It can become hell in your head, but it's completely internal. Like, you've put it upon yourself. It's not actually an external fear or anything like that. It's just something you've built up inside you.
Yeah.
And can, it's just eat you up alive. And then that normally distracts you from what you're doing, like I said, baking a cake, making someone else a cup of tea, whatever you're doing in this weird bakery in the Buckingham Palace. I don't know what you're doing here. Don't know how you got there, but you made up other mistakes there, and then you're in a domino effect at that point because you're too worried about this that you mess up this, and then because you mess this up, it hurts you down the line, and it's just a downward spiral.
Yeah, it is. And it's not uncommon for people to be confident in. Sorry, it's not uncommon for people not to be confident in life. Everyone is not confident in a certain form of what they do.
So, I think we're both of the belief system that staying in your comfort zone is also like sitting still.
Yeah.
It's like dying.
It's been stagnant. You go backwards. So,
while we're trying to always push ourselves to be outside of our comfort zone, outside your comfort zone, there's not a lot of confidence at the same time. So and people listening to this podcast will also be trying to push themselves out of their comfort zone, which we absolutely love and adore. But that's where we need to have the mindset or the strength to see our lack of confidence, not as a lack of confidence, but as obstacles and opportunities.
Yeah. It is an obstacle, an opportunity. Yeah. So, another example, more of a normal one, not a wacky one.
Oh, you're not in Buckingham Palace making tea?
Nah, I've gone out of Buckingham Palace and I got bored of that one. Getting out of bed. Ooh. The one that Butson struggled with at the very, very start of last year. Now, we all know the story if you listen to the podcast. If you haven't, go back to episode 1 and give it a listen. But warm bed, especially in the past few weeks or months, it's been wintry, it's been cold in the mornings,
dark outside,
frosty outside, yeah. And we're in a nice warm bed. The alarm goes off. We see the time. We know we have to get up. We've got stuff to do. But bed's warm. Let me just roll over. I'll be another 5 minutes. You fall asleep. It's now 10:30. You're late for recording the podcast. And you're like, oh my God, I'm late. And you're flapping to try and get here in time. That was a real life example, actually, guys. But what I'm saying is it becomes a point where you have to push yourself just to get up at that time and aid yourself into doing that. For instance, the thing I told you, put your phone over the other side of the room. And if you just take that step to get out of the bed, you've completed it. If you lay in bed and your phone's next to your bed and you turn it off and you roll back over and you don't get out of bed instantly and you've realised what you've done, you don't have to say, no, suck it up and get out of bed. And I think if you just do that continuously, as we said, get out of that comfort zone, be uncomfortable, then you'll find yourself to grow a lot easier.
You're almost, the more you're building confidence outside your comfort zone, but the more you achieve, being uncomfortable, getting out of bed, that sort of examples, the more confidence you have doing uncomfortable things. I'm saying. Yeah, I agree.
Just like recording this podcast. Look, go back to episode 1, give it a listen, and listen to how timid and scared and uncomfortable we feel like. But now, getting on to, I don't know, episode 30 plus,
37, yeah,
we're already completely different because we've now done it 30 times or however many times we've done it. It just becomes another little step, a bit more easier, a bit more comfortable. So we now have to do something else to get uncomfortable again. We have to go and start releasing videos. We have to go and start doing something else. We already have done. But what I'm saying is to make another step, there is always another step in front of us to do that we can always continue to grow.
Love that. There is always another step. I just wanted to talk about where it came from, this struggling with confidence thing, because I think a lot of people, this is quite important for me when I was starting to realise why I was not confident. Because as well as doing it day to day, you're trying to build your brands or your so you're trying to improve yourself. I have confidence within myself around people, and it came from not being true to myself. I think at times, a few years ago, I would try to be the person I thought people wanted me to be.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that really played an effect. That really had a spiral effect again, because I wasn't being true to myself. It felt alien. It's not natural. So you're already not agreeing with yourself. I don't know. Something's not right with yourself, and because other people don't want you to be who they want you to be. They want you to be you. They want you to be authentically you. And people trust people who are authentically themselves. So when you're not getting trust or a good relationship with someone because you're not being yourself, it's another just devastating spiral where it's hard to get control of it again.
Yeah.
So your confidence is getting knocked and knocked and knocked from just not being genuine. And I think a few people in this world struggle with that. I'm not the only one. It's something that you need to work on. You need to get yourself out of.
There is, we all know this because, well, I love this guy. I can't remember his name. Slab did the research for me on Instagram. So go on your phone. I think his name's Dave Francis or something. He's the train guy. You've seen the videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, there is a video in his Instagram. If you haven't watched it already, maybe just bring it up. And he's talking about his life as in, he's always loved trains. Something he's always been passionate about. He went to upper school and he realised that he stood up from the crowd. He wasn't happy. He didn't feel comfortable because he liked this. He liked trains and everyone else didn't. People started calling him, I don't know, weird or whatever. And so to fit in, he changed himself. He wasn't. He basically wasn't a roadman. He called himself a roadman. Okay, because I started to wear roadman clothes to fit in with the crowd. He started to wear beanies and shirts and stuff that didn't suit him, stuff that he wasn't comfortable wearing. But because people wanted him to be a certain way, because society said you have to be like this to fit in with the crowd, and so he did. He followed that crowd because he wanted to fit in with those people. And Lockdown came out, and he was saying about how he changed his personality because he'd fallen to love with trains again, and how he felt a lot more comfortable when he met new friends, and his friendship group was very small, but so loving, so caring about him openly coming out and saying, this is how I am, and I'm now confident to do that. Just the happiness that his videos bring to people on a day-to-day life, it just amazes me. So if someone can do that from becoming a massive part of a popularity parade, for instance, being part of someone at school that's being followed and being loved, and all the girls or all the boys are after him, to now doing what he loves and portraying it across social media, and people following him because of that very reason. And he's got something like 1.2 million followers or something now, just because he's being himself. Just goes to show that you can do that as well, no matter who you are.
So he's making some coin. He doesn't work anymore, does he? He just does this full time now.
Yeah.
Train spotting, which is awesome, because I watch him as well. I think it's hilarious. I think it's fantastic, and it is genuine happiness coming through the screen. And that's why. And now he's got all these followers because he's not followed the crowd. He's not tried to be what people want him to be. He's been him, which is authentically him, and people love that. People want to see that sort of side of you, because nobody wants to see Joe Blogs. Because there's a Joe Blog in every single street corner and every shop, and they're just not. If you be yourself, I've said it so many times, be authentically you, you'd be such a happier person.
Yeah.
And I know that myself. Like, you also stop worrying about what other people think of you. You stop worrying about if they're talking about you anymore, because you don't care. You're not reliant on that to make you happy. You're reliant upon yourself.
And that doesn't, just to put that across, that is not you being big-headed. That's you being free. Because a lot of people that then, because again, one person can say, well, that's so big-headed of you. You don't care what people think of you. You must be great. But that's not the point. That's the point of you having less noise in your brain and being more confident in yourself, because you don't care what other people think, because you just want to have a good time. You want to be who you want to be, lead the life you want to lead. And that is how you do it. You become
free.
Yeah, you become free
from people's judgments, and that's powerful.
So you don't know this, but I'm gonna set a bit of a challenge for everyone. And we don't have to follow it. You can follow along if you want to. If you do follow along, tag us in it. Tag us in the challenge that I'm about to set you all. No matter what it is, no matter what you're stuck with in life, no matter what you're not confident in, whether that's post on social media, whether that's going out for a run, whether that's posting a picture of yourself on social media because of your body type or how you look or how you dress or whatever you like to enjoy. If you like to go and watch trains, then go and post trains. If that's what you like on social media, let it happen. But for every post that we get, tag us in it. Let us know what you struggle with and how you've sort of overcome your confidence in your life, and let us know how it's changed you. How this podcast here, because not many people talk about confidence again. Let us know how it changes you and how you perceive, well, just a guy on Instagram that's changed his life from being a roadman to being a train spotter. And that's what he likes to enjoy. Just go and do it and just post us and tag us in it and let us know what you've changed in your life. And basically, this podcast is our way of showing you guys what we've changed in our lives. For instance, we were never really, as a group, as a friendship group, social media posters. We didn't post much on social media. We were scared of showing people our vision and judgment. But now it becomes easy because the more we do it. So follow suit. Do it. Just do it a couple of times, and I can guarantee you, whatever it is, if you've got a YouTube video to make, if you've got a message to say, anything that you can show the world, that you can help the people out there, just do it.
Love it. Get involved. Get involved in the challenge at FS Challenge. I like that.
So, have you got anything else to say before we finish off?
Just want a couple. It's just a quick. I see something the other day that I seem to believe in. So, it's confidence around people. So, for example, a job interview or an important meeting with your boss or so on and so forth. Something big that that you want to do well at. So, nervousness and excitement are registered the same within the brain. The chemicals and neurons that it fires and releases are the exact same. There's not much difference in between them. If you're nervous, you get butterflies, your heart rate increased, you start sweating. Same with excitement. Your heart rate's increased, you get nervous. You got butterflies in your stomach. You want to. It's a feeling. Everyone knows that feeling.
Yeah.
Whereas if you, and this is where the power of words and thoughts, how they dictate your every move almost. Right, your thoughts become your words, and your words become your actions. Essentially, if you were to say you're sat in a big room waiting to go in for a job interview, if you say to yourself, "I'm nervous," you're going to go in there nervous, and you're going to underperform. Yeah. You're not going to do as best as you can. If you get yourself in the mindset, you psych yourself, you go, "I'm excited for this. I'm looking forward to this." You will do twice as well as anyone else in there saying they're nervous, because your brain's no longer seeing it as a dangerous thing and a thing you should be afraid of. It's seeing it as something you can jump into and enjoy. Yeah. Not necessarily have fun with, but enjoy it and relax. And normally that relaxed or more relaxed state, excited state, is much more powerful than being nervous. I'm shaking. I don't know. Yes, sir. I love the job, please. Yeah. And going, yeah, I'd love that job. That'd be fantastic. Give me it now. And it's something I truly believe in. It's about your mindset. If you're coming up to, you're a sportsman, you've got a tough competition coming up, you got a game you got to perform well in. Tell yourself you're excited for it. You're hyped about it. Don't let yourself don't listen to your nerves.
Yeah.
Tell yourself that you're excited, and you will excel. You're in control of your mind, and your mind is in control of you, essentially. So it sounds a bit backwards, but you have to project what you want the outcome to be, in a sense. Yeah, just leave it there.
All right, so guys, thanks for listening for this one. Appreciate it. Again, it's a bit off topic, but I think it's something that everyone struggles with on a day-to-day basis. And if you don't struggle with it, and you say you don't struggle with it, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call you a liar. So go back and listen to episode 1 if you haven't already on the podcast. Find us in all the social media platforms, on all the links below. Please get involved in the challenge that I set you. If you forgot it, click back and listen to it again. But for now, guys, have a good week. And
success is available for everybody, so why should you settle for less?